tendencies, why men don't like to shop, and the fight for the right of patients to sue their HMOs. Tonight's Eye on America looks at patients' rights in the new and still changing era of managed health care. President Clinton today renewed his push for a Patient's Bill of Rights, a bill that failed in the 1998 Congress. One of its key provisions would give all patients the right to sue HMOs, a right now enjoyed by only a few. CBS's Wyatt Andrews has a case in point.
Here's something you almost never see. Terry Goodrich is suing an HMO, Aetna, and the case is going to trial in California. Since most HMOs are exempt from state lawsuits, this is rare.
I've got to try to do what I can to make the insurance companies treat people better.
She is suing Aetna, now the country's largest HMO, for not paying all the bills, more than $500,000 worth, when her husband David died of stomach cancer. She bitterly recalls the day one of Aetna's letters arrived at David's bedside.
He was in critical care on the respirator. We received a certified letter from Aetna which said, if you choose to remain in the hospital, you'll be responsible for, the charges.
The case could be close. Aetna says it paid for much of Goodrich's care and denied only what his policy didn't cover. But here's the dispute.
All of these arrows and circles here show all of the internal steps.
Goodrich's lawyer, Mike Bidart, says the company intentionally stalled David's treatment, figuring he was dying anyway.
So 5.5 months elapsed from the time he collapsed in court until he got a denial. Unfortunately for Dave Goodrich, his cancer had already metastasized and moved to his liver.
What makes this case unusual is that Terry Goodrich is allowed to file suit only because her husband worked for the government. For most any other employee, Congress has banned any state lawsuit against companies that provide worker benefits. When that law passed in the 70s, Congress never realized that one day HMOs would use that law as a shield.
I think they see themselves as in a permanent legal immunity situation that allows them to make these callous decisions without having to pay the price.
Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle says to Democrats, the right to sue an HMO is the leading reform in an HMO reform package he'll introduce next month.
You don't have real, meaningful HMO reform unless you hold these companies accountable.
It's not the right remedy.
Karen Ignani, who represents HMOs, warns lawsuits will only benefit trial lawyers and do nothing to improve treatment.
If your goal is to improve patient trust and confidence, you don't get there from laying down a right to sue.
It doesn't make any sense that they should be able to do pretty much what they want without people being able to fight in any way.
To HMOs, managing cases like David's is the manage in managed care. Immunity from lawsuits protects that power. Now, one rare lawsuit charges they've abused that power and won't stop until they pay. In Washington, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
CBS's next story is about why males and malls may not mix.